Hello guys, a very warm welcome. I have bought yet another super fun game for us to be creating today, which is a catching game. So this game is going to be about an astronaut that is kind of floating in the space with a lot of stars and all that, and he needs to catch the stars to win the game. So I'm going to start by deleting this cat. And let me tell you the 5 steps that we're going to be focusing on. We will be coding to make our astronaut move from left to right to be able to catch the stars. And we want the stars to kind of keep falling from the top. So we'll make the stars go to the top and also be able to come down. We need to code to be able to catch the stars and also increase our score once we do that. So let's try adding our sprites and backdrop first. So first off, I'm gonna go on to the backdrop section, and since this is kind of like a space thing, I will add the space backdrop. Okay, I can see the perfect one. There is galaxy, and I think I had seen one that was simply stars. I'm gonna go with stars. So you can see my stage shows like a bright starry night sky. Now I'm going to be adding the sprites that I need. So I'm going to go on to this. I'm searching for an astronaut. So I'll probably go to people and let's see if they have what I'm looking for. Okay, I have Ripley right here. And I've got Kiran. I think I'm going to take Kiran. So we've got Kiran right here, and she seems a little too big for me. I am gonna decrease the size, probably make it an 80% or yeah, 80 or yeah, that looks good to me. So I am putting her kind of like halfway downwards because I don't want her to have such a long height. So it's gonna be like she's probably like floating in the sky. And what I want to do is I want to check uh, to see if the arrow keys are going to be pressed on the keyboard. So if the left arrow key or the right arrow key is going to be pressed, we want Kiran to be moving in those particular directions, right? So how am I going to do that? I'll grab a when green flag clicked, and then I'm going to be making use of the if block that is there in the control section. I'll go to that and control, get the if then I'll go to the sensing section to get the key pressed events. So for the key pressed events, I can see key space pressed, but we are not really concerned about the space key right now, are we? So I want to check if the right arrow key is being pressed, because if that's the case, I'm going to make Kiran go right. So how do I make her go right? If the right arrow key is going to be pressed, we go to motion and you are searching for a block that says change X by 10. I'm going to grab it and put it right here. So what this will do is whenever you press the right arrow key, Kiran is going to move 10 pixels to the left side. Right side. And if you want this to like keep happening and not just happen once and stop, you need to put it all inside a forever loop. Forever, basically any code that you put inside the forever loop will keep on working again and again and again until the game stops. So I placed this inside and I'm just going to connect this entire thing right here. So let's test it out, guys. See if I'm pressing the right arrow. Kiran is moving to the right side. Now I want to be able to do the same thing for the left side. Oh, and by the way, did you notice because I pressed the right arrow a little too much, Kiran is right now out of the screen. So we don't want that to happen. So there is a block that will help us like stop moving outside. So if it is like touching the edge, we kind of want it to come back inside. Okay, so we will also be putting that. Okay, where is the if block? For that we go to control. I will get the another if block, and from the sensing section I'm gonna get another key space pressed for the left arrow this time, and go back to motion, change X by, but this time it's gonna be a -10 because we want it to go the other way, right? And the block that I was talking about, if on edge, bounce. So if it touches the edge, we want it to kind of like bounce back. Yikes. So this is gonna be a little tricky because we see her kind of turning upside down. So I think I'm just gonna remove that block and stick to this one. And you want to make sure like you kind of position Kiran right here. So as soon as the game starts, you'll grab a go to X and Y block and you're going to place it right above here. So whenever you click on the green flag, that is where Kiran will start from. And if you press right, Kiran goes right. If you press left, Kiran goes left. Awesome. So I am done with my first task of making Kiran move. Now let's talk about the stars that is going to like keep falling from the sky, and the ones that Kiran is supposed to catch. So let's start by adding them. I'm gonna go on to the sprites library. I will type in star from the search box. Can you guys see the star right here? So see, I have added the star, and what I'll do is I'm just gonna like put it kind of on the top right here. And what happens is, to make it come falling down, I will have to keep on decreasing the y coordinate so that it comes down. Okay. Now, how do I code for this movement? Again, I'm gonna go on to the events section, and I want the star to like keep like popping up from different places, right? So some maybe sometimes it should come from here, sometime from here, some from here, right? So the same star should like keep going to random places. So for that, I'll get a when green flag clicked, I'll go to the motion section and get this code that says go to random position. And to make sure it just doesn't randomly appear anywhere, I will set its Y position to the very top. So I'm searching for the block. It's right here at the bottom. And the very top is actually 180. I'm just going to type that real quick. So do you see? Whenever I'm clicking on the green flag, the star is kind of at the very top. And do you see the position right here? Now, if I click on the green flag again, it goes to a different position. Again, it goes to a different position. So are you guys getting the point of what I just did with the random position? Awesome. Now comes the third step, where we wanted to make it kind of like fall down. So to make it fall down, we are going to be making use of a block that is change Y by. And since I said it's going to be a downward movement, we will use a minus. Okay, so change Y by, and since I wanted to move a little slowly, I'm gonna go with -5, and I will put this inside a forever block from the control section. so that it constantly keeps falling down. Let's see how it works. Do you see this? All right, there you go. Now my star is actually falling downwards, but can you guys guess what the problem is? Yeah, it shouldn't come back, that it shouldn't go down that much, right? If it touches Kiran, it basically touches her helmet right here, right? So it should stop there. So what we are going to be doing is we're going to grab an if block. We will get an less than sign from the operator section, put it right here, and we'll check if the Y position, okay, you go to motion, scroll down a little bit, the Y position block. So if the Y position is actually a -70, that's a little bit on top, right? So if it is like -70, we kind of like want it to go back up and start that, going to the random position thingy again. So let me just put this if block inside this. I'll grab the same blocks again, which is go to random position and set Y to 180. Not -180. That way it's going to stay at the bottom. So 180 simply so that it starts off from the top. Can you see this? Awesome. So with this, we are done with our step of making the star keep falling down. And now we are going to code for the most important thing, which is having Kiran catch it. Yes. And you might see, like, even if Kiran is like touching the star, it kind of just like passes her and keeps going down. So we need to fix that part as well. For that, I'm going to get another if then, and then I'm going to go on to the sensing section, and I'll grab the first block that says touching mouse pointer. And instead of mouse pointer, I'm going to select Kiran. So basically, if the star is going to touch Kiran, we kind of want to make it go back to the top. And how do we do that? We get the same set of code one more time. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. And I'm going to put both of those here. There you go. Now, whenever Kiran is going to touch the star, it's going to keep going back up. Do you see it? But we also want to increase our score, right? Because that's like the most important point. So whenever Kiran touches the star, we want to increase the score. So for that, we are going to go on to the variable section, click on make a variable, and the name of the variable is going to be score. And I'm going to click on OK. Once I do that, you should be able to see the score at the very top. Now, every time Kiran actually touches the star, we want to change the score by 1. So I will grab this block and I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to select, instead of my variable, it's supposed to be score. And let's also play like a really cool sound effect. So for that, we're going to go to the, okay, let's hear this out. Oh yeah, this sounds like a cool sound. So I'll go to the sound section and I'm going to grab the block that says start sound collect. Okay, and to make sure that when the game begins, right, our score should be 0, I'm going to go back to the variable section and I'm going to grab this block that says set my variable to 0. it's not my variable that we're concerned about. It's the score that we want to be 0 at the beginning of the game. So yeah, guys, let's test it out now. I think I'm gonna. Okay, my score is 0. I'm able to move, Kiran. Okay, I hear the sound. Okay, and every time I'm collecting the star, I can see my score increasing. Wow, I already love this game. What about you guys?